Radhe Krishna, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Welcome to Bhakti Secret 7. The Lady of Tirukkolur is continuing her comparison with the great devotees in this monologue in front of the great saint Swami Ramanuja. Now, usually if there is a conversation between two people and the other person is saying something which the first person already knows, there is usually a tendency to cut the conversation, to interrupt, to interfere, and the other person would want to prove that he or she already knows what the topic which is being discussed about, and they try to force their opinions into that conversation, effectively killing the conversation. But in this case, Swami Ramanuja, in spite of knowing all the topics which this lady was talking about, he gave her a patient hearing. He never cut the conversation, and he never displayed that pride and arrogance that these are all the topics which he already knows. So this is a great lesson on effective listening skills for all of us. So moving to the Bhakti secret for today, the Lady of Tirukkolur narrates to Swami Ramanuja, "Did I assume the role of a mother like Anasuya Devi?" So this is an episode from the great epic Ramayana. Anasuya Devi. So the word Anasuya, let us see what it means. Asuya means jealousy. Anasuya means absence of jealousy. Now this is very relevant in today's world where jealousy is omnipresent and all-pervasive feeling. Hyper competition results in constant comparison amongst people. So this is a source of exhaustion, fatigue, tiredness, and all health problems. In fact, animals and plants, they are not comparing themselves with each other. Even we, human beings, when we are in a state of deep sleep, we forget comparison, we forget jealousy. That's why when we get up from the sleep, we feel fresh and we are energetic. Even if we want to compare, our comparison should be with the devotees, should be with the noble souls, with people who have acted selflessly, so that the comparison is the source for a peaceful life rather than a stressful life. Moving on with the episode, Anasuya Devi was a great lady. She didn't have any complaints, and as her name suggests, she was devoid of any feeling of jealousy. She was a staunch pativrata, that is, she was a virtuous wife, and she had done a lot of penance. So she was also a great tapaswini. She was living in a forest with her husband Atri Maharishi. Now Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, in their 14 years of forest life, they were passing by this forest where Atri Maharishi and Anasuya Devi were staying. When they saw this hermitage, they entered this place to take some rest. So Atri Maharishi and Anasuya Devi welcomed the trio, and Atri Maharishi introduced himself and his wife to Ram, Lakshman and Sita. Atri Maharishi told that Anasuya Devi was a great tapaswini, and in one instance there was a time when the region where they were staying had inadequate rainfall, and Anasuya Devi, because of her tapas bal, that is the power of her penance, ensured that the region got enough rainfall, and she selflessly helped in feeding the people who were hunger stricken. So Atri Maharishi requested Rama to allow Sita to have a free conversation with Anasuya Devi. Sita was happy to meet Anasuya Devi. she prostrated before Anasuya Devi. Now Anasuya Devi, in her conversation, she told Sita, so quote, Sita, people think that I am a virtuous lady, but according to me, you are more virtuous than I am. Because I stay in a forest, I am confined to this particular place, but you are not like that, you are from a royal kingdom. In spite of being from a royal kingdom, you forced Rama to accompany him to the forest. So you chose to be with your husband in his difficult times. You acted as a friend, a guide, a minister, a counselor to Rama. Thereby, you displayed the hallmark of a great virtuous wife. I am very happy for you. So Sita was very happy listening to these praises. Thus praising Sita, Anasuya Devi continued the conversation. So she said that she had heard about the Rama Sita Vivaha, that is the marriage between Rama and Sita, in a story form which many people had narrated to her. But since Sita Ma was in front of her, Anasuya Devi wanted to hear the account of Rama Sita Vivaha from Sita directly. So Sita Mata blushed when she heard that she had to talk about that narrative. So she said that it was a condition which her father had placed, that the one who would break the Shiva Dhanush, he would be eligible to marry me. So there were many princes who came, but I was really not interested in any of them. Then came Rama, and I started praying silently that this man should break the Shiv Dhanush. So it was again Sita Mata's experience that Rama came, he lifted the bow, he just broke it. So nobody even knew when Rama came, when he lifted the bow, and when he broke it. It was so quick. Obviously, Sita's father, Janaka Maharaja, he was very impressed by this, and he immediately offered Sita's hand to Lord Rama. Lord Rama said that he would want his father's consent, so without that consent he would not marry. So accordingly arrangements were done. So Dasharatha Maharaja, Lord Rama's father, came along with his group to this place called Janakpuri, which was Janaka Maharaja's kingdom, and Rama Sita Vivaha took place there. So this way Anasuya Devi was able to experience the first hand account of Rama Sita Vivaha from Sita directly. Anasuya Devi was very happy listening to this first hand account of Ram Sita Vivaha, and she hugged Sita and she said that she wanted to decorate or adorn Sita with saris, ornaments and flowers. In fact, Atri Maharishi and Anasuya Devi had a son who happens to be Guru Dattatreya. So Anasuya Devi always wanted Guru Dattatreya to marry so that she could decorate and adorn her daughter-in-law, but Guru Dattatreya had no intentions of leading a worldly life, and he had mentioned to Anasuya Devi to keep all these ornaments and all these flowers safely. One day in the future, Sita Mata would come to her place and she can enjoy decorating and adorning Sita Mata, saying that he had left for his tapas and he was a sannyasi. So that moment had finally arrived when Sita Mata visited Anasuya Devi and was conversing with her. So Anasuya Devi got this opportunity, and out of pure motherly love, she decorated Sita with new clothes, new garlands, new ornaments, and Sita Mata was exactly looking like a bride on that occasion. Anasuya Devi then took Sita to the place where Rama, Lakshmana and Atri Maharishi were in some discussion. So Lord Rama was pleasantly surprised to see Sita Mata in a bridal decoration, and he remarked that she was looking as beautiful as she was on the day of marriage. It gave Sita Mata an immense joy, because she was leading a very difficult life in the midst of the forest, and this incident filled her with happiness and positivity. This was the Tirkolur lady's reference. She felt that Anasuya Devi had very limited time to spend with Sita Mata, yet she chose to spend it in the best possible manner, made the best use of time. So this lady laments that she has not done any such service at the local temple, or even offered a simple flower garland to the goddess in the temple. So what is the use of living in such a divine land and not following the practices which were followed by the great devotees in the past? So what is the message for us from this particular episode? We see that whatever Anasuya Devi had saved, she used it for Sita Mata. So one key message here is the joy of living is in the joy of giving. Secondly, Anasuya Devi, as her name suggests, she was devoid of jealousy. We are living in a world where there are constant comparisons. So our kids have to go to the same or the better school as our neighbors' kids are going. If someone has the latest brand of iPhone or whatever is new in the market, we want to possess that. If we see someone is advancing in their career, we also want to follow their path without knowing if we have that level of capacity, that level of ability and willingness to do various tasks. So what we are leaving as an imprint is negativity and toxic culture, which in fact harms our health only and creates issues for us in the longer term. So can we try to avoid this aspect of comparison and the feeling of jealousy in our life, and try to see the world from a different perspective? Let's try doing that. Thank you for staying with us on the Bhakti Secret 7. We will soon catch up with the Bhakti Secret 8. Radhe Krishna, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha.